So as we were just saying there, this is coming just a day after Washington launched its own crackdown on China's chip sector. Are we just looking at a tit-for-tat move?
Absolutely. This was a retaliatory move, and you're going to see a lot of that. And it's not about dollars and cents anymore. It's about national pride. It's about strategic stuff, importance, and all that stuff. So I think you're going to see this going back and forth. These three commodities are important. China is the biggest exporter of that, but there are other countries also that can be sourced. So I think that you're going to see a lot of that. It is going to be inconvenient. It is going to disrupt a little bit, but there are other sources, there are alternatives and all that. So I think U.S. will come around, but in the near term, I think you're going to see all these retaliatory tit-for-tat moves between the two.
So spell out for us, if you will, what these three commodities are used for: gallium, germanium, antimony. What kind of products could end up being restricted here?
Yeah, so there are different uses. Roughly, if you just club them together, they're all semiconductor based. They are used for different chips and different products. Then the end products, you've got night vision goggles and other areas used for defense. So they're different. They go into different aspects of the defense infrastructure and also the semiconductor complex. So it's really it's spread across the board. So I mean, you really can't pin them down. But they're important. They're important pieces. But then you have Belgium, you have Japan, you have other countries as well that produce these things. So I think U.S. can go to them. And already we got a taste of that because in 2023, China imposed export bans, export restrictions. So I think there was some movement already to kind of take care to address that in case there is a complete ban. So this has been on the cards for a long time. China controls a lot of strategically important commodities that are needed for development, for the future technology. So China knows that, rest of the world knows that. So I think there is some movement to kind of address that already. And it takes a while to develop new mines and get them to market. So it's going to be disruptive for sure. But there are alternatives, then there are substitutes, and so there will be some workarounds down the road. But in the near term, it will be a little disruptive.
Will the U.S. economy end up taking a hit from it, though?
Marginally, yes, and I'm sure it was figured out when they did this. So it'll take, but there are, like I said, there are substitutes, there are workarounds. So maybe it might delay a few things, but ultimately there are solutions beyond this. It is more convenient to get it from China. But so they need to, China and U.S. need to come to some kind of a strategic balance. So there is no tit for tat and disruption. But President Trump is coming in with a strong agenda, and he's America First president, so he's going to go all in to keep his word. And China, of course, is strategic importance, it's self-pride, it's nationalism. So all these things are working together in this whole pot. So you're going to see a lot of cross currents between these things. Ultimately, I think people know that things have to move on. And U.S. knows that China is ahead in many areas, so they're going to do whatever it takes to keep their dominance in certain areas or get to dominant position. So you're going to see a lot of back and forth. Let's see where it ends, where it lands. But in the near term, yes, it's disruptive. It's going to affect the GDP at some level, but not too much. It's 3.4 billion in a multi-trillion-dollar economy is not that much, but it is strategically important for some of the products that are the future of this world.